Alright, Presenter here, back with another Honkai Star Rail guide. And today I'm here with the full build guide for the upcoming 2.7 second half character Fugue, or Tingyun. For this video, I'm going to be calling her Fugue. So this video is going to be taking you over her kit and Eidolons, then taking you over some Lightcone recommendations. Followed by that, we'll be taking you over some relic sets and ornament recommendations, alongside the stat recommendations you want on those relics. I plan on having a full build guide for every 2.7 character. Sunday is already out with a pretty in-depth guide that you can check out right now. Jingwan is also available. You are now watching the Fugue guide, and soon there will be a guide for Firefly. Yep, that's all I want to say. If you guys find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new and haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you do not miss future videos like this. If you know anyone looking for a Fugue guide, send them this video, and let's get straight into the video. So Fugue is a fire character following the path of nihility. Her basic attack deals fire damage equal to 100% of Fugue's attack to one designated enemy. Her skill grants Phyxian Prayer to one designated ally and causes this unit to enter the Torrid Scorched state, lasting for 3 turns. This state's duration reduces by 1 at the start of Fugue's turn. Phyxian Prayer only takes effect on the most recent target of Fugue's skill. The ally with Phyxian Prayer increases their break effect by 30% and can deal toughness reduction by attacking enemies without the corresponding weakness type, with the effect being equal to 50% of the original toughness reduction and cannot be stacked with other weakness ignoring toughness reduction effects. While in Torrid Scorched state, Fugue's basic attack will be enhanced. When an ally with Phyxian Prayer attacks, Fugue has a 100% base chance to reduce the attacked enemy target's defense by 18%, lasting for 2 turns. As the skill does say, it gives her access to enhanced basic attack, and what that enhanced basic attack does is deals fire damage equal to 100% of Fugue's attack to one designated enemy, and deals fire damage equal to 50% of Fugue's attack to adjacent targets. Her ultimate deals fire damage equal to 200% of Fugue's attack to all enemies. This instance of attack ignores weakness type to reduce the toughness of all enemies, trigger the fire weakness break effect when enemies become weakness broken in this way. Her talent: while Fugue is on the field, enemy targets will additionally be affected with Cloud Flame Luster, equal to 40% of the enemy's max toughness. When the initial toughness is reduced to 0, Cloud Flame Luster can be further reduced until 0, at which point the enemy target will take additional weakness break damage. While Fugue is on the field, and after allies attack weakness broken enemy targets, converts the toughness reduction of this attack into one instance of 100% super break damage. So she pretty much gains access to the extra toughness that we had not too long ago, and will be the second character that actually allows allies to deal super break damage. The technique: after using the technique, inflicts daze on enemies within a certain area, lasting for 10 seconds. While dazed, enemies will not actively attack ally targets. After entering battle via actively attacking dazed enemies, Fugue's action advances by 40% with 100% base chance to inflict each enemy target with the same defense reduction state as that applied by Fugue's skill, lasting for 2 turns. Taking a look at her bonus traces, her A2, after ally targets break enemy's weakness, additionally delays the action of the enemy target by 15%. Her A4 increases this unit's break effect by 30%. After using skill for the first time, immediately recovers 1 skill point. And her A6, when an enemy target's weakness gets broken, break effect of teammates, i.e. excluding this unit, increases by 6%. If Fugue's break effect is 220% or more, the break effect boost effect additionally increases by 12%, lasting for 2 turns and can stack up to 2 times. Looking at Fugue's Eidolons, her E1, ally targets with Phyxian Prayer increases their weakness break efficiency by 50%. Her E2, when an enemy target's weakness gets broken, Fugue regenerates 3 energy. After using ultimate, advances the action of all allies by 24%. Her E4, ally targets with Phyxian Prayer increases their break damage by 20%. And her E6, increases Fugue's weakness break efficiency by 50%. When Fugue is in the Torrid Scorched state, Phyxian Prayer will take effect on all allies. Moving on to the best Lightcones for Fugue. Unfortunately, there really isn't that many options, but the best one is going to be your signature Lightcone, as it gives you a 60% increase to break effect, and when an enemy target's weakness gets broken, there is a 100% base chance to inflict the charring state on it, which increases its break damage taken by 18% for 2 turns and stacks up to 2 times. So her signature Lightcone gives you everything you do need, gives you a lot of break effects, so it helps you get up to 220% or above a requirement that you do need. And when you do first weakness break that enemy, you get the charring state, which will increase the break damage taken, so your actual break DPS can do a lot more damage, making this her best option. Another great option is the free-to-play Herda Shop Lightcone, as it does also give you a 20% increase to break effect, and when the wearer uses their ultimate, increases dot dealt by the wearer by 24%, which you would ignore this part. When a target enemy suffering from dot imposed by the wearer is defeated, regenerates 4 energy for the wearer. You would need to break for this approx, so you still can get the energy, which would be helpful, but this part is relatively useless because you're not focusing on the dot part of this Lightcone. For the most part, it is mainly a stat stick, because at S5 you get 40% increase in break effect, which is lower than the signature, but it is still really good for a free-to-play option, making this a really good option. Another solid 4-star option you can use is the Fermata Lightcone, as it does give you a 16% increase in break effect and increases damage dealt to enemies with shock or wind shear by 16%, and also applies the dot, which once again you would be ignoring this part since you're not a dot character. It's mainly just for the 32% increase in break effect you get, since most of the abilities are not really focusing on the break part, so there's very few stat sticks you can use, and most of them just end up being a stat stick in the end. So this is another stat stick option you can use. And probably the best option is gonna be the Pearls Lightcone, because when the wear hits an enemy and if they're not already ensnared, you have a 60% base chance to ensnare the hit enemy, and enemies that are ensnared have a 12% defense reduction for 1 turn. And at S5, you have a 100% base chance with a 16% defense decrease. As Tingyun is mainly just going to be popping the skill on an ally and then mainly spamming her enhanced basic attack, it's really easy to get the ensnared. So defense shred, especially on break teams, is the other best source of damage up you can get, so ignoring defense shred, that kind of stuff is what's good. So this is probably the best 4-star option you can use if you are able to hit the break effect through the relics alone. Taking a look at the best relic options for Fugue. Overall, a fantastic one you can use is the 4-piece of the Iron Cavalry set, as the 2-piece increases your break effect by 16%, and the 4-piece, when you have 150% or higher break effect, damage dealt to the enemy will ignore 10% of their defense, and if you have 250% or higher break effect, the super damage dealt to the enemy target additionally ignores 15% of their defense. So the 2-piece giving you more break effect will help you get more break effect to the point you do need, because you at least need 220% to make use of her bonus trace, and at 220% you make use of the first part of the 4-piece, you just need an extra 30%, which is really easy to get in battle. In order to get the last part of this relic set, as it does give you an additional 15% defense ignore when dealing super break. On top of that, Fugue is the other super break enabler, as she's able to make other allies, including herself, obviously deal the super break damage, as she's able to convert it thanks to her talent. So she's able to completely make use of this set, which will be the best for her damage and also for her break effect building, and is overall the best option you can do. Past that, there really isn't much else you'd want to do. You can combine one of the break 2 pieces, so again Iron Cavalry, you can combine 2-piece Watchmaker or 2-piece Thief for the 16% break effect, and you can combine it with one of the sets that will boost your speed, so running 2-piece of Relieved Ordeal or 2-piece Hackerspace for their 2-piece increasing 6% speed, since you're going to want your Tingyun to be fast, overall making this pairing really good. You could also combine one of the break sets and combining them with the other break sets, so you get 2-piece of Iron Cavalry, Watchmaker, and Thieves, and just do 2-piece break, 2-piece break, giving you up to 32% break, so just a nice break increase, so you do hit the requirement that you do need easier. Those are practically the only options you can do, since you want to focus on mainly getting the break. Iron Cavalry is going to be best for damage, and you can still do 2-piece break and 2-piece speed for optimality of getting more speed while also still getting the break. It's going to lower her damage potential, but mainly she's going to be there for being a super break enabler, but herself can also deal pretty good damage, and on top of that, with her buffing capabilities, especially if you're running something like the Pearls Lightcone, having the 6% speed built up for more speed is going to be helpful, so you can get more turns, helping you ensnare more enemies, all that kind of stuff. Extremely basic options, but really effective. For her planner ornaments, the best one is going to be the Forge set, as it gives you a 6% increase to speed, and when you do have the wear hit an enemy that has fire weakness, you get a 40% increase to break effect for 1 turn. So you have to have the enemy weak to fire, otherwise this ornament is just giving the 6% speed, which is not really much worth it, since you obviously want to get more effects off your ornament. Most people will be using her with Firefly, so you don't have to worry about that, because Firefly is able to implant fire weakness, so when Tingyun does attack, you'll always be able to hit a fire weakness enemy, making it really easy to get. But it is also her best if you just take a look at what the enemy's weaknesses are before going into battle. If they're weak to fire, you just put it on the Forge set and then you're good to go. Although if they're not weak to fire, then this becomes significantly weaker, so you just gotta make sure they're weak to fire, and so if they are, or you're running her with Firefly, it becomes their best option. And the only other real option you can use is Talia, as it gives you a 16% increase to break effect, and when you do have 145 speed or higher, you gain an additional 20% break effect, giving you 36% break effect in total. So just a nice break effect increase, and on Fugue you will always want 145 speed or higher, so you'll always practically have around 160 or even more than that. So you don't have to worry about the requirements, since a proper built Fugue will always want more than that speed that's required, so it's practically just a free 36% increase to break effect. You don't get the speed buff like Forge, and it's 4% less break effect, but if you're taking her on one of the other teams, so let's say you're taking her with Rappa, if you're taking her with Boot Hill, and the enemies are not weak to fire, and she can't implant it like Firefly can, or the other characters can't implant like Firefly, or implant fire since Buho can implant physical, then taking Talia would be the better option because you would actually still get the effect as opposed to 4 just giving you 6% speed and nothing else. For the main stats on the relics, it's relatively easy. For the body, you can do literally anything that just has the best substats on the relics you're doing. As for Tingyun, you practically just want speed and break effect. For the feet, you want speed. For the orb, again, anything that has the best substats, you can lean towards a fire orb for the best damage, but again, just anything with the best substats. And for the link group, you want to have break effect. For the substats, the literal only 2 things you want to focus on is getting speed as much as possible, and also getting at least 220% break effect so you're able to make use of the actual bonus traits she has. So make sure you're able to hit 220% break effect. And if you are running 4-piece Iron Cavalry, you want to make sure in battle you want to be able to at least get 250% or higher break effect, since you want to get the full use of that relic set. So once again, speed as much as possible, and then break effect minimum 220%, and if you're running Iron Cavalry, you want to get at least in battle to 250% or higher to make use of the full set. And yep, that is the Fugue guide. As you guys can see, it is relatively easy to build her, very straightforward, just your generic break builds, and also generic break sets, nothing too crazy. She's going to be a fantastic enabler, especially since it does seem like the Harbor Trailblazer is going to be switched to Remembrance for anyone that's going to care about the summon meta. So Super Break will need another driver for that, and she is going to be the one, and she's also really good. Yep, hope you guys found the video helpful. Remember to drop a like if you did, share this video to anyone that may be looking for a Fugue guide, and also again, if you're new or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this so you do not miss a future upload. Yep, once again, hope you guys found the video helpful. Peace out.